Thank you. I'm just going to add a couple of comments that in terms of facilitating exchange, I think that two simple things. One is find something inspiring, that there's nothing that will motivate someone to make the most of a trip, whether it's 1 week, 1 month or 1 year, if they're inspired by what they're going to. And the second, I agree that if you're interested to go to the United Kingdom, it's useful to talk to a British student, but it's better, in my view, to talk to a Mexican student who's had the experience of going to the United Kingdom. That they will either have been excited by it and be a great ambassador, or they'll give very honest advice, both of which, of course, are very, very useful. So find something inspiring and talk to another student who's had the experience.
Perhaps just to add a little bit on the getting students to think about going abroad. I think a point that was made to me recently about when we were discussing why British students aren't going abroad was around medical students in Britain. And as part of virtually all medical students, part of the course they have is a period of elective. A period of working outside the university. And more of them, I was told it was now up to 80%, and I have no idea whether that's true or not, are now actually choosing to go abroad. And it's because right from the very beginning, when they even begin to think about medicine, they are building into their expectation a period of working outside the university and possibly a period abroad. And it seems to me that if we're looking at it from a UK perspective, we've got to build this much more into a student's expectations before they even think about going to university. That part of it will be an international experience as a part of their degree. It seems to me that if institutionally we want to try and increase this and take away the fear, then if it is part of people's expectation of what they're going to do and everybody else is doing it, then it is far more likely that they're going to be able to prepare to actually take that leap themselves.
I think it's already open. No? Okay.
I'll use this one. Not much to add, really. It's mainly been said. I think one thing, though, that is extraordinarily important is simply to make the step in the first place. The strong observation is once people have been overseas once, they'll keep on going overseas. If you look at our foreign students, for example, they are the ones who are often the keenest on then going to other countries from the UK as part of their degree. And I think that's part of the fact that they've taken that step once, and you only have to take it once and then you will keep doing it. It's part, in a sense, of building up to being a global citizen. Second thing is really some very simple things. I'm still staggered by how often campuses use just the languages of the country that they're in for signs and all sorts of things. And it seems to me very important to change that policy over time. And we are actually in the process of trying to do that. And then I think lastly, cultural events, as Tim and others have said, are quite extraordinarily successful. You find most student societies, I think, would have their own national galas every year, and other students go to them. And I'm sure it's the same here too.
Yes. Thank you very much for your comments. Any other questions? Students, any student who you want to make a question? Sure. Sí.
Hi. Well, the United Kingdom and the British Council is highly characterized by promoting arts and humanities. How do you do that? I mean, because here in the Tec de Monterrey, it's one of the main issues and it's one of our main goals to promote these kind of activities. And you have a lot of experience in that, and please compart with us this kind of experience. Thanks.
If I understand your question correctly, it's how do we actually promote exchanges in these areas of the arts and the wider? The starting point, it seems to me, is in many ways very similar to this question of how do you get students to think about going abroad. It is, first of all, making the leap. And I think it is, secondly, recognizing that for so many people, these things are hugely attractive. The first and foremost, it is about making opportunities available to people to take part. Because people will take part if the opportunity is there. So the first thing of all is to actually create something which is on the ground, practical, and actually possible for people to take part in. I think the second thing is to also recognize that you don't have to do everything very, very big to be successful. Actually, a lot of small things often add up to much more than one single big thing. And I think the third thing I would say is continuing the process. Once you've begun, you have to continue. So if you're not prepared to continue, don't begin in the first place. Because you build expectation, you build relationships, and you have to continue to put effort into that, or people will become disappointed and you end up with a negative reaction, not a positive one. So the processes are, in some senses, terribly simple, in other senses, terribly complex. But the really simple thing is have the courage to begin, have the courage to do things small, not necessarily very big, but once you've begun, keep going at it.
Thank you very much. I think some of our vice chancellors have to go because they have to get to the airport, some of you. So I think we are going to thank you very much now. It has been a pleasure to have you here. And I want you to know that we have a very important partnership with each and every one of these universities, and therefore we are going to continue working so that our students can really participate in them, and your students can also be here with us. Thank you very much. I also want to thank the ambassador. It was a pleasure to have you here with us, and we hope this is not the last time for you or for the vice chancellors. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for all of you.